The new Cadillac CT4 is Cadillac's smallest and least expensive sedan. Now, despite that, this Caddy has a bunch of different options on it that pushes its price up to $50,000. I'm going to show you everything you get on the outside, the inside, and we're going to take it for a test drive. Let's get started. Now, real quick, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see a CT4V, I have a review of that, as well as the CT5V and the CT5 Sport. So, 4 different Caddy sedans for your viewing pleasure. So starting off under the hood, this is one of the areas where we get an option on the CT4. Standard, you'll get a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with some fairly underwhelming power numbers. But under the hood here, we have the optional 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that gives you 310 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque that comes out at 1,500 RPM. Those numbers will go up a little bit on the V trim because this is the same engine in the CT4V, but this engine is still pretty potent, and we'll go for a drive in a little bit. You got to think about it though, because this is a $2,500 option, but I think it's worth it. It's pretty fun to drive, and on the base trim, you get an 8-speed transmission, but you get a 10-speed transmission with this 2.7-liter. Rear-wheel drive is standard on these Cadillac sedans, but all-wheel drive is optional for $2,000, which we have right here. Miles per gallon can get up to 30 miles per gallon with the rear-wheel drive model, but our all-wheel drive will be 20 city and 28 miles per gallon highway. And if you want to see how the CT4 or CT5V models drive, check out in the description below. Now, as we take a quick look at these exterior details of the CT4, this is the premium luxury model, so you have a little bit more of a slick, luxurious front end with that chrome around the grille, kind of a lighter color. You do have these large daytime running lights, kind of the signature Cadillac LED daytime running light, LED headlights, but an incandescent turn signal. So even with this $50,000 premium luxury trim level, you still get incandescent turn signals. But overall, I like the front end, I like the design. Those daytime running lights look very sleek, and this looks really cool at night. And you can even get cornering lights optional, which we saw on the CT5. Otherwise, these headlights do not do very well. Now, this paint color is called Red Obsession Tint Coat. What do y'all think? It's a really deep, pretty red. It is a $1,200 paint, but I think it looks really nice on this Cadillac CT4. And if we go ahead and take a look at the wheels, these are 18-inch wheels. You can get 19-inch wheels optional on the CT4, but for this size of a vehicle, I think they work. You don't have to have a massive wheel, and that can take away from your ride comfort as well. On the side body, the mirror does have a turn signal in there. It's also heated. It is not power folding, but the driver's side is automatic dimming, so that is nice to see. Another feature of this premium luxury, kind of a more luxurious trim, is the chrome accent. So you've got the chrome bezel around the window, you've got the chrome on those door handles. So you have a little bit of a brighter finish design to kind of give it a little bit more of a high-end feel. And as we come around to the back, we do have LED taillights. You have the same design that you do up front, that vertical taillight design. And this is the all-wheel drive model, as I said. And the turn signal is not amber, it is actually red. So leave your comments down below. And then you've got 2 dual exhaust covers back here. Dimensionally, this CT4 is a decent amount smaller than that CT5, so be sure to check out the CT5 if you want to see how big that one is. Now, briefly for the cargo area, our CT4 does not have a kick-activated or motion-activated trunk, but you do have a touchpad with your smart key system. There are a couple of lights up there, and there is a little grab handle to pull it back down. But back here, this is really small, actually. It's less than 11 cubic feet. So this is a small sedan, so it's acceptable. It's definitely doable for most people, especially if you don't carry big items, but you can at least fold the seats down. The only negative is that there is no spare tire on any of these CT4s. Cadillac does give us the smart key system standard where you can open your trunk. You have remote start standard. It's a nice feeling key fob without any issues at all, and it fits into your pocket well. So the way that theirs works is it's completely button activated. You have a button right there to lock it or to unlock it, and the mirrors will flash at the same time. The CT5 has the little grippers on the inside, which I actually prefer not to have those grippers. But once you unlock it, let's say you get out of the car, you walk away, it has an automatic locking function if you want once you get far enough away. And at night, it even has approach lighting where the headlights light up, the side of the vehicle lights up, and it's just a really nice, welcoming thing at night. Now hopping into the front seats of the CT4, it's a low, slick riding sedan, and when you get into the front seats, you'll get these 14-way power adjustable seats that include memory settings for this premium luxury trim. Our model also has the Climate package, which is a $1,200 package to give us heated and ventilated seats. Both work well, plus it also gives us a heated steering wheel. This leather-wrapped heated steering wheel is completely heated around the whole steering wheel. Now these seats are comfortable for the most part. They've got decent bolstering without being too aggressive, but I have one complaint. It's the fact that the headrest is far forward. I don't technically have my seat where I should have it or the headrest where I should have it because that headrest is intrusive. It's just too far leaning forward, but overall I think most people will enjoy and be comfortable in these seats. Now as we hop inside, we've got push button start right there. Starts right up. And as you can see, our forward collision system is unavailable. Now I'm not sure what the reasoning is. I don't know. It's been like that the whole time I've had it. But cruise control also does not work. But let me go ahead and go through some of the features in here and options. Now this CT4 does have a nice, fairly premium, modern looking interior. Not the fanciest, not the sleekest, but it is definitely doable and has some nice features. But if you look at this and then you look at the CT5, you will notice the CT5 has more space and it feels more functional. So starting off, we have the available tech package for $1,150. And one of the main things is that it gives us this 8-inch display up front instead of a split display. This is certainly not very fancy, but I believe the 2021 models might get a different display, but this looks just like typical GM, like you'll even see in some Chevrolets as well. There's also a head-up display up there, and it is very clear. You can move it up and down. You can change some of the information seen on there and even turn it off if you want to. And one other item with this tech package is an air purification ionizer. So you get that with your AC system. Another package is a $1,200 driver assist package, where the first thing here is adaptive cruise control is part of that, which actually isn't working because our forward collision system isn't working. But you can control that with these two buttons and with your distance with that button right there. In addition to that, we have enhanced automatic braking and reverse automatic braking, but again, the enhanced automatic braking is not working. Now another package for $800 is the Driver Awareness Plus package that gives us this following distance indicator. You may have seen this on some other models, but this also is not working because our front system is not working. You also get automatic high beams, which you can control at the end of the stock, but those again are not working just like the other systems. Another part of that Driver Awareness Plus package is the lane change alert, which is a blind spot indicator in your mirror. And then you also get the lane keeping system, so you can push the button there, but look, lane keeping assist system is unavailable. And then the last part of that package is rear cross traffic alert. And I'm really surprised that that is optional. You just have a regular backup camera, but rear cross traffic alert is standard on many mainstream brands. So that should be a standard feature. Now I was just really hard on the CT4 because that system's not working, and a lot of those features I would expect to be more standard, but you do have a nice door right here. You kind of have some nice material and stitching on the door. You've got a pretty cool looking armrest that matches the leather of your seats, a little bit stiff and a little bit small. And then you've got a decent sized bottle holder that works for mine and a storage bin. Cadillac steering wheel is comfortable to hold on to. I think it's a good size. It's got a good grip to it. It's got a good width, and it is leather and heated. So that is nice to see. And you have some plastic paddle shifters on the back that we'll go through in the test drive. Coming over, Cadillac gives us an 8-inch screen standard. All of these CT4s will get an 8-inch screen. It would be nice to see a larger option available, but maybe they'll add that in the future. Even though it is a smaller screen, this still works really well. It's a simple, easy to use system. We have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There are customizable settings and even your own driver profiles on here. We also have a $1,700 option to where we get a Bose 14 speaker system plus navigation on here in addition to that. So that's a $1,700 option if you want that. One more feature with that $1,700 option is this wireless charging mat down here. I like that Cadillac gives you some physical buttons like this volume knob, a tuning knob, a home button, but you can also control all your radio stuff from here. So you've got a command knob to where you can use this. This is your volume, seeking buttons, and quick shortcuts like map, phone, music. So that's really nice to see. Dual zone climate control is up here. Your heated and ventilated seat buttons are all around here as well. Then you've got a parking sonar system in addition to that. I'm happy to see that Cadillac gives us some stitching, even if it's faux stitching around here, a unique pattern on the center console. So this looks nice. It's not the shiny black plastic that you see in a lot of vehicles. The cup holders are really narrow and small. Mine doesn't sit all the way down in there. That's just kind of my complaint with pretty much all GM vehicles, is the small cup holders. Auto stop start, brake hold, traction control, and your drive modes. When you change those drive modes, you've got your own My mode that is customizable. Touring mode is just your standard mode, sport, and snow and ice. And we'll go through those in the test drive. I like what Cadillac did with their armrest. So the armrest extends really far to where you don't really have to have your elbow way far back. You can rest it on here and still be able to touch the steering wheel. You can lift it up this way. You have a USB-C and regular wide USB port. I think that's what, type A, type B, I don't remember. But your phone can slide into here, and then you can have a charger go through here, so you can even move your phone out and have it charging, or just store your phone right there. And it's a very nice softly lined area to put some stuff with the 12-volt power outlet. Cadillac gives you a locking glove box, as well as an automatic dimming rearview mirror. There are also garage controls up above, in addition to LED lights. And we even get ambient lighting in here. It's just one color, but it looks nice. It's a soft, gentle glow from the doors and overhead. And to my surprise, even though this is a premium luxury model, we still don't have a moonroof or sunroof standard on here. Now, one note I want to make about the back seat is that the doors do not open very far, and it's a really small opening, so it's really tricky and difficult to get car seats back here, and it's just really cramped overall. Definitely go for the CT5 if family duties is on your list. Aside from that, these seats are mostly comfortable. I can sit up tall with just my hair touching. I'm 5'9", but sitting behind myself, my knees are pretty darn close to this seat, and there's not a lot of room for my feet. The seats look nice, they feel nice, and they're comfortable. They're just really tight. In fact, my fat thighs and my man spreading, I can't even have this armrest down without it digging into my leg. But you do get an armrest that is softly padded, and it's just a nice backseat area, except for the space. You also get air conditioning vents, which you don't always have to expect in a small sedan, but you get those, and you get a 12-volt power outlet, but you don't get an extra USB port back here. So there's only 2 USB ports, one Type-C and one of the regular USB ports. Okay, y'all, let's get going in this CT4 for a test drive. Now, I'm just going to kind of tell you what it's like to daily drive, to live with, ride comfort, acceleration with this 2.7 liter turbo, and kind of how this compares to the V and the CT5 a little bit as well. But right off the bat, this car is fairly smooth. So as the lowest entry-level Cadillac sedan, you're not going to expect a whole lot compared to some of the bigger sedans, but it is still a smooth and refined offering from Cadillac. On a daily driving basis, I personally would prefer the CT5. It's a little bit more practical in here. It's not quite as cramped. It feels a little bit tight for me, but some people are going to like that. First impressions of driving it is that it doesn't feel too stiff, and in fact, this turbo is fairly responsive, especially for the non-V trim, even though the V gets a 2.7 liter turbo as well. When I didn't get to really push that CT4V a whole lot to really know. The CT5V was more fun than I was expecting. But this CT4 Premium Luxury, I like that we don't have huge wheels, because the ride comfort is actually still pretty good. It's not stiff, it's not harsh. It can be maybe just slightly on the stiffer side for luxury vehicles, but still not bad at all. The handling, or I should say the steering feel, is good. It's a very good middle of the road steering feel. It's not overly touchy, but it's not heavy weighted either. We do have a sport mode that I'll put it into in a little bit, and your own My mode that you can customize to an extent. Not quite as much as the V trims, but I would say daily driving this, if the headrests were not so intrusively far forward, I would be very comfortable for most of it. Like I said, practicality is a little less in here than it is with the CT5 because of space and little storage areas, but very, very small complaint, and that's not who this is going for. This is a small car, and there's a specific market for this car. Now, going 45, a little bit of throttle, and that grabs a little delay for that downshift, but it grabs, and that turbo's got some instant boost, 300 plus pound-feet of torque. And the brakes on here, the CT4 and 5 V brakes are really responsive, and these ones are not that much off. They're still quite responsive. I'm definitely happy with the way that they feel. Let's go ahead and put it in sport mode, and we'll try it out in a bit. And by the way, I have binaural audio headphones in right now, recording. So for the best sound experience with this car, put your headphones in so you can kind of get a feel for the sound of that powertrain. As we get around this corner, we're going to go ahead and get on it. All right, pedal down. And that gets going pretty quick, and it even flashed on the screen, performance shift activated. Holds its own, even though we don't have the MagneRide suspension like that CT5 V I was just in. This is very solid, planted feeling. We have all-wheel drive, and I've accelerated into some corners on some wetter pavement, and it grabs and it goes. That is pretty nice. Now shift into manual mode, downshift. Fourth gear, third gear. And the paddles are not lightning fast, but they're still fast enough. They're not the metal big paddles like you get on the B series, but most of you probably won't be driving this car like that, especially if you get the premium luxury model. But you can get this engine for $2,500, and it's pretty quick and responsive and fun. I would say the biggest difference between this and the CT5, aside from the space in here, driving it, is that this is noticeably noisier with road and wind noise. You still get laminated glass and laminated windshield up here to help with wind noise, but road noise definitely gets in quite a bit more, especially on a rougher textured road. And I'm just briefly going to get on that rougher textured road so you can kind of hear that with the binaural audio, and then we'll wrap things up. That all-wheel drive, you can really grab and go around some corners, but we're on a rougher textured road now, and road noise gets through here a lot more than I would like for a luxury sedan. It's not terrible, but it's there. Just wanted to give you an idea of what that sounded like. And now let's go ahead and wrap things up. And brake pedal down. That was fun. Now to wrap things up on this 2020 Cadillac CT4, for 2020 the CT4 was all new. It replaces the smallest Cadillac sedan, so this is now your entry-level option. Now, even though this is the entry-level option, this one still had a lot of different options on it, as you saw on the inside. Unfortunately, some of those weren't working, but Cadillac still did a nice job of offering quite a few different things for entry-level buyers. And with this optional engine under the hood, this car is actually pretty fun to drive. Not quite like the V, but you can still get the non-V model and have a fun and sporty Cadillac. If we take all those options out, and the price goes down of course, but it just feels a little bare bones for an entry-level luxury sedan. But still, what do y'all think of this Cadillac CT4? Leave your comments down below, subscribe for more reviews, and have a great day.